Hello everybody. Today is Wednesday, August 24th, and it's been a really long time since I video blogged, but I really haven't had much to talk about because things have been a little quiet on the fertility forefront, I guess you could say. But what I wanted to talk about today is actually not so much the IVF, because it's all this talk about IVF and fertility and whatnot, but actually what I wanted to talk about was I'm at the age where a lot of my friends are married and having babies or having their second or third child, and I sometimes have a difficult time with that. And I know everybody goes through their own struggles, and just because I'm going through one struggle and somebody else's isn't any less important to me. But one of the things I find that I experience is that it's really difficult for me at times when I hear a friend or an acquaintance, or I overhear a woman complain about pregnancy and the morning sickness and the weight gain and all of the things that they go through. And I think, I don't say anything when those people complain, because they're right. That's what they're genuinely feeling. But I guess for me, when I hear about somebody complain, what it feels like is for me, it's like a silent welcoming of all those experiences. I look at it as life is such a miracle, and being pregnant is only 9 months long. And in the grand scheme of things, 9 months is so short. When you actually think about most of us, if we're fortunate and lucky enough to have children, most of us will live 70, 80, 90 years, old enough to watch our kids raise their kids. And so I guess for me, I imagine all those moments when I hear women talk about, how difficult labor was, or childbearing, or being kept up for 6 months every night because their baby was colicky and they didn't sleep, or, their breasts were sore from breastfeeding. All of those things that I hear women complain about, I imagine all of those moments, and I actually dream about being woken up and listening to my baby cry and being able to have that opportunity to get up and coddle my baby and feed my baby and have all those experiences. I even imagine, and as odd as this might sound to other people, I even imagine experiencing that physical pain in delivering a baby and appreciating that little life made it all the way to 9 months and into this world, and how much I'm going to love that baby, and every little single bit of that pain will be well worth the wait. I did have a twin pregnancy, and unfortunately I lost those babies. The first baby I lost at 9 weeks, and the other twin made it to the second trimester, and unfortunately I lost the second baby just over 4 months. But when I got morning sickness, I loved it. I thought it was the best thing, because it was a constant reminder that I was pregnant. And when I started gaining weight, and when my breasts were sore, like they were noticeably sore immediately, all those things, I loved it. I was like, in my mind, this was exciting because it was a constant reminder that I was going to have a baby. So I guess from the experience of somebody that's childless, that's my perspective on things. And sometimes I know we all do it. We all complain about something. Sometimes I got to remind myself when I complain that the weather is so hot out. We have a hot day and I'm complaining about that, because shortly after, a few months later, I'm complaining about the cold and the snow. So I know how easy it is, to complain about something, and nobody's perfect. But I just sort of wanted to give a perspective of what it feels like, in the shoes of somebody that's childless, or somebody that can only dream of being in that, I guess, moment of waking up at 4 in the morning and again at 6. And, even as odd as it sounds, even the bad moments, even the postpartum, all of those things, and those are all experiences not everybody goes through. But that's all part of the life and all part of the miracle of bringing life into the world. So I guess my video today was more so talking about, I want to talk about that perspective and just let other people out there know that they're really lucky, the people out there that have babies and have children. And I also want to talk about the downside of not having kids and how difficult it is watching other people raise their kids that are close to you. It's easy to get caught up in that emotion and feel depressed and feel sad when you see somebody else, you know, with their children, and you see how much they love their kids and how much their kids love them and look up to them. And it's really easy to get afraid and think about that you may never ever get that, and you'll never maybe be in the position you know, to watch your husband hold your children and, you know, teach them how to ride a bike and all those things that parents sometimes really take for granted. You know, it's easy to fall into that trap of getting depressed and feeling sad. And I refuse to be one of those people. I had some moments where things have been really tough, you know, going through 4 IVF cycles. It's really difficult. And being on all the fertility drugs, I've been on them for almost 2 years and really haven't had my body have a break. Not sure if you can see in the video, but if I look up really close, I've got, you know, a pimple on my face, and I refuse to complain about it. It's embarrassing. I'm going to be 40 years old and I have a pimple, but you know what? There's nothing I can do about it. With all the fertility drugs, you know, your hormones change. There's weight gain, there's breast tenderness, there's insomnia. You know, you get nausea. I have. It's like my body's been pregnant for 2 years, but no baby. But you know what? I just refuse to get depressed about those things. There's some things in our life that we have no control over. And some people, you know, they genuinely can't control depression. But other people, it's circumstances that put them in a moment or a time period where they feel sad or depressed. And my message out there to the women that are going through IVF or miscarriages or going through the cycle or the anticipation of testing, all those things, there are times and moments where it's impossible to not feel down and depressed. But take charge of your life and take control of the things you do have the ability to control, and don't let yourself get down. Remind yourself of the things in your life that make you feel really appreciated and what you love in your life, because it's too easy to fall into that trap, and once you get into it, sometimes it's really tough to get out. And I've seen friends go through that depression. Some have lasted years, and I don't wish that on anybody. It's horrible. But there certainly are moments when you're going through an IVF cycle or a pregnancy loss. It's really straining on you, and sometimes you feel alone and you feel like there's nobody out there. But believe me, I understand, and I've been in that. I've lost pregnancies. I've had failed IVFs, and you know, I'm running out of time. I'm almost 40, so I guess all I can ask is that you guys be good to yourself, the women out there that are going through IVF or through the fertility, going down that path. Just remind yourself, you know, how great of a person you are, what you have to offer. And I know it sounds cheesy, but when I go through those bad moments, I run a bath. I put on, I'm embarrassed to admit being 40 years old almost here, but I put on Miley Ray Cyrus, Party in the USA. I have no idea why, but that song cheers me up. And I read this book, and actually I'll grab it. I have it. Sorry, bear with me. I'm going to show you a book. And it is awesome. And it is, doesn't matter what religion you are, what faith you are, or what spirituality that you believe in. This book is one of the best books for being uplifting. It's called The Art of Happiness, and it's by the Dalai Lama. And I gotta tell you, this book is amazing. It's one of my favorite books when I'm feeling down or depressed, or this, just thinking about, my gosh, I'm never gonna have a baby, and stressing out about how much we're gonna afford it, and go through all those, can I do another IVF cycle, and can I go through another failed cycle? I run a bath, and I put on the cheesiest music, and I read this book, and it puts things into perspective for me. And I'm not endorsing this book. This is my own personal opinion. So I just wanted to put that out there, and just keep positive, and just take control. And I will be making another video very soon, updating you on the IVF stuff. But just wanted to say hello, and wish everybody out there the best of luck, and to try and be good to yourself. Take care. Bye-bye.